Hello and welcome to Rewrite 2020. As you may know, every year the University of Essex's Theatre Arts Society hosts an annual playwriting competition in which upcoming young writers display a variety of exciting new plays. Though usually it is drama third years submitting their bed plays from their Writing for Theatre module. This year we're going digital thanks to our global partner, COVID-19. In all seriousness, we haven't let the pandemic get us down. And like many creatives across the globe, it hasn't stopped us from finding ways to push our limits and get creative. This year's plays and playwrights are as follows: My House by Henry Burt, Portrait by Charlotte Button, The Modern Woman's Guide to Host and Company by Delaney Jordan, and Countdown by Danny McIntyre. But what would a playwriting competition be without a panel of judges? This year, our panel are talented theatre makers and TAS alumni. First up, we have Vicky Moran. Vicky is a writer, director, and facilitator, best known for her work as associate artist at Cardboard Citizens and her recent play, No Sweat. Her work centers around elevating marginalized voices and using art as activism. Next, we have Danny Falanis. Danny is an actor and writer, best known for her one-woman touring show, Cadets, which tells the story of the Camden Cadets, the best cadets group ever. Now, on to the main event. The first play of this evening is My House by Henry Burt. Two amateur burglars see their plans go awry when they accidentally assault the homeowner. Violence, secrets, and name-calling ensue. I reached out to Henry for a comment. Here's what he had to say. Gosh, I really hope I win. Thanks, Henry. Now, without delay, here's My House.
Fuck. Fuck, 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 fucking
shit,
bollocks,
crikey.
Fuck!
Is he,
I'm not sure.
Is he breathing?
I can't tell.
Well, go and check.
I'm not checking.
Why not?
You know dead bodies creep me out.
But we don't know if he is dead. That's what I was hoping you could maybe find out for us by going and checking.
But what if he is?
Well, Irving, I suppose that's just a risk you're going to have to take, isn't it?
You check.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Why me?
Well, it should be you, really.
You're the one that hit him.
Yeah. You're welcome, by the way.
I'm welcome?
Yes, you're welcome for me hitting him.
I didn't ask you to hit him.
You're the one that woke him up. My instincts kicked in. What else was I supposed to do?
I don't know. Threaten him, maybe? Punch him in the stomach? If your first instinct when someone makes you jump is to twat them over the head with a fucking statuette, that's really something you ought to consider working on.
Well, at least I did something.
I didn't have a chance to do anything before you went all Babe Ruth on him with that thing.
Still isn't moving.
You'd better hope he starts moving soon.
You're in as much trouble as I am, you know.
Oh, you reckon? It's not my fingerprints that are all over that thing.
I don't like the way he's looking at me.
I don't think he's looking at you at all. Still, though, maybe this isn't such a bad thing.
Well, it's not exactly a good thing, is it?
Maybe it is. I mean, he sort of had it coming, didn't he? Might not have been our plan, our intention, but maybe it's just one of those things.
One of those things.
Yeah. One of those things where the right thing happened, even though we didn't exactly mean for it to happen. Like at school, when we stole Mr. Haycock's car keys and he chased us and fell down those stairs.
You mean, like he deserved it?
I'm not saying that. I would never say that. Nobody deserves to die.
But
I'm just saying there might be a few people who feel that way. Or would, if they knew.
do you know him?
You don't?
You do?
He's that guy, isn't he? You know, the Merryweather guy. I don't remember his first name. Is it Fred?
He's famous!
Ross? Paul. Is it Paul? Arthur?
We killed a famous person.
I mean, not famous. Kylie Minogue is famous. He's not Kylie Minogue. He wishes he was Kylie Minogue. What's his fucking name? Oh, no, I've got it. It's Edgar. No.
Well, who is he?
He sells houses, I think. Something like that. Why can't I remember his name? I hate when that happens. It'll come to me later.
You said we were picking a random house.
It was a random house. Just happened to be his house.
Oh, right. Who just accidentally breaks into a rich property developer's house?
It could have been any rich person. We just ended up getting this particular rich person. What's the big deal?
The big deal, Jerome, is that a minor break-in is fine. Nothing too out of the ordinary. We've all done it. But this, fucking mansions, weird statues, murder.
Murder is a bit premature. Assault? Sure. Manslaughter if he's actually croaked. But you can't go throwing the M-word about willy-nilly like that, Irving. It's bad luck.
You really want to talk about bad luck now? What? You think our luck is going to get worse somehow?
Our luck is just fine. Our luck isn't what got us here.
You're right. Me being a fucking idiot is what got me here. Standing with you in this room. I mean, you'd have to be an idiot to keep getting mixed up with people like you, wouldn't you? I know that, but I'm still here.
I told you it might be tricky.
You said the house would be empty.
And I was wrong. I'm sorry about that. That's my mistake.
Oh, how fucking magnanimous of you.
You're awfully snappy about all this, considering you're the one who hit him.
I'm snappy because I don't even know what we're doing here. You said this was going to pay off big. You always say that, and as of yet it still hasn't happened. Well, you know what, Jerome? This is the last time I end up in one of these type of situations because of you.
This isn't one of those types of situations. It is going to pay off. Already has, in a way. Look at all this stuff. Must be worth a bit.
And how many trips do you think we'd have to make to the car to get everything? 30?
I never said it was a perfect plan.
You did! Those were your exact words. You said, Irving, I have got the perfect plan to make a little extra cash. And I believed you. You knew I couldn't afford not to.
Don't go blaming my plan. My plan isn't the reason we're standing 5 feet away from a fucking dead man who just took a priceless oriental artifact to the back of his skull.
Are you ever gonna let that go? It was an accident.
Yeah, well, somehow I don't think the police are going to be very impressed by that excuse when they find out you killed... Fuck! What's his name?
It's Rufus. Rufus Merriweather. You're not going to hit me again, are you?
Oh, Rufus Merriweather. That does sound right.
Only my head still really hurts from the last time, so... Have we met?
Irving, can I talk to you for a moment? Ah! What's your problem?
Don't use my fucking name in front of him.
Why not? He told us his.
Well, are you going to tell him yours?
Wouldn't have thought so.
You look awfully familiar.
Why do you look familiar?
I don't know. Do I?
Don't you?
Maybe I just have one of those faces.
Can I stop you for just a second? Look, I don't know why you're here. I don't even know who you are. Maybe it's the head trauma talking, but I'd love it if we could work this out without anybody getting hurt so I could go back to sleep.
I think it's a little late for that, Rufus.
People normally call me Mr. Merriweather.
Does this strike you as a normal situation, Rufus?
Oh, I definitely know you from somewhere.
One more word. Say one more word, old man, and I'll get my friend here to hit you again.
I'm not going to hit him again.
Can you not undermine me in front of Rufus, please?
I'm not undermining you. I'm just saying I'm not going to...
You are undermining me. I'm trying to establish a power dynamic here, and you're shitting all over it.
I'm not shitting on anything.
You're taking a giant shit on the whole plan right now.
What plan? It feels like you're just making this up as you go along.
No, he's right, you know.
What did you say?
He's right. It doesn't really seem like you thought this through. I can't tell if you're here to rob me or kill me. If this is a robbery, I think it's fair to say you've botched it at this point. The most you're going to get away with is a few £100 worth of ornaments. And now you've got a witness too. Unless you did come here to kill me. In which case you really should have hit me harder. But then again, to reiterate, I have just taken a fairly heavy blow to the head. So I don't really know what I'm saying.
Look on the bright side. Now we're both going down. Hey, come on now. Giving up isn't going to help, is it? Hey. Irving, we need to sort this out. I can't do this without you. I know I don't say that enough. I never give you enough credit for everything you do. It'll be okay. But I need you with me right now. Fine. Be that way. He's got to be hiding something. Something big, yeah. There's probably a safe in one of the rooms, hidden behind a painting, or one of those bookcases where you move a book and the whole thing opens up like a big door. Houses like this are always full of little hiding spots. You're right. It'd take a week to search this place. But if Rufus were to tell us where to look, well, of course he's not going to just tell us. Don't be daft. Honestly, it's no wonder this sort of thing happens to you so often. I think I might have something that'll persuade him. Irving.
Just let the police come and get me.
As much as that would make my life a whole lot easier, I can't do that, and you know it. The partner's in crime now, like Bonnie and Clyde.
We are not Bonnie and Clyde.
Sure we are. And what I need you to do now, Bonnie, my love, is stay right here, keep an eye on our pal with the fractured skull while I go to the car and get a few bits. Does that sound okay to you? Great. Won't be long.
Of course he thinks he's Clyde. More like Myra Hindley, if you ask me. There's an atmosphere in this room. I mean, obviously there's going to be an atmosphere in any room where someone's just been assaulted twice. But there's something else. You two aren't telling me something. I can tell. I might not know you, but I know him. He thinks I don't know when he's lying, but I do. I'm not stupid. Well, not that kind of stupid. I'm stupid enough to let myself end up here, and I'm stupid enough to still be getting dragged into Jerome's plans. But I'm not thick. I know when somebody isn't telling me something. I hope you aren't dead. I never wanted to be a murderer. I just really need the money. It's the only reason I'm here. I guess I just thought there wouldn't be any harm in taking a little bit from someone who has more than they could ever need. I don't know if that's something you'd understand. You probably don't know what it's like to need something more than you want it. Lucky for some, I suppose. I don't know what he's gone to get, but if you are still alive, you're probably going to wish we hit you harder. I hope you know it's nothing personal. I don't know you, but you're a part of this now. We both are, just going along for the ride. I just want you to know I didn't mean for any of this to happen.
You're wrong.
Ah!
Please don't hit me again.
What did you say?
Please don't hit me again.
I meant before that.
I know, but I just really wanted to drive that point home. My head really hurts.
You said I was wrong.
Right.
You said I was right.
No, I meant you were right about me saying you were wrong.
I was wrong.
No, you were right about me saying you were wrong.
I'm surprised you don't get hit in the head more often, if I'm honest.
You said it was nothing personal. And I'm telling you that, in fact, it is.
What do you mean?
Your friend. He's been leading you a merry dance. I think I'm going to be sick.
What are you talking about?
No, really, I need to be sick.
Here. Better?
A little. Now, about your friend. What I was going to tell you was... Oh, God. Yeah. Your friend. He knows who I am. He's lying to you. I'm going to be sick again. I'm okay. I'm okay. I think I'm onto the dry heaves now.
You need to tell me what you know. Before he gets back.
Kill for a slice of toast right now.
Rufus! Mr. Merriweather, how do you know Jerome? What are we doing here?
I tore his house down.
What?
I tore his house down. A few years back. It's part of a project I was working on at the time. He kicked up a big stink, wouldn't let it go. He came to my office, screamed at me. I told him it was just one of those things. It wasn't anything personal. It wasn't just him who lived there. I think he lived there with his mum. And it wasn't like it was just his house I had to tear down. The whole neighbourhood had to go.
He never told me that.
I know.
Why didn't he tell me?
I own that land, you know. It's mine and I made it better. Ugh, don't give me that look.
What look?
That look. The one that says I shouldn't be able to sleep at night because I had the balls to make a tough choice. To be successful.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, trust me, I've seen it all before. Everywhere I go, people give me that fucking look. Like I chose to make them homeless. Like I don't want people to succeed. No, you don't want yourselves to succeed. Looking at me, expecting handouts. Like all this just fell into my lap one day when I wasn't looking. Well, I say, take your looks, take your judgment, your morals, and shove them up your fucking ass. I worked for this. This is mine. All of it. And your friend could have moved on with his life, like I did. He could have made something of himself, worked his way up to my level and taken me on like a man. What did he do? This? Some pitiful little revenge fantasy that will leave him worse off than before he ever even met me. That's what I think of people like you. Fucking parasites. Fucking leeches. You want to bleed me dry because you're a have-not and you want to blame it on the haves. You'd be nothing without me. This town would be a fucking ghost town without me. I brought you culture, modernity, and this is how you thank me.
I didn't know. I swear,
It's no excuse, boy. You're culpable. This is your bed just as much as it's his.
You're right. Okay? You're right. But what do you want me to do?
Help me. Do something. If you get me out of this, I will make it worth your while.
But how do I...
Irving!
He keeps using your name.
What should I do?
Just don't let him hurt me.
Has he been awake?
No?
No surprises there. When Jerome hits them, they stay hit.
Is that a smoothie?
I had a little nosy round on my way back. Guy's got a smoothie maker like you wouldn't believe. Like, imagine if the Starship Enterprise had a smoothie maker. Probably did, to be fair.
Right, so what do we do now?
Do you think it's fair that people like him get to have smoothies like this? I mean, this is the smoothest thing I've ever experienced. I can't even feel the seeds. Is that fair? You and I could work for a lifetime and not have enough cash on the hip to afford a smoothie maker like this. What? Because we don't destroy homes for a living, we don't deserve high quality smoothies?
Jerome.
Every lumpy smoothie I drink from now on is going to stick in my throat. And not because of the lumps, because of the indignity of it.
I suppose it's a good thing we randomly stumbled across this house then. At random.
Right.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Is everything okay, Irving?
I'd just really like to get out of here, Jerome.
Can I just say, you're doing a great job tonight, mate. Really. You are. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
It's nearly over. We've just got to do this last bit. Now, go and wake up Rufus.
Hey. Hey. Come on. Wake up.
Well, that's not going to work, is it? Give him a slap or something.
Oh,
There he is. Bring him over here. Time up. I didn't wash up, you smoothie maker. Also, I broke a glass. All your glasses, actually. Your plates, too. And I drew a dick on the wall. Very stoic. We'll see how long that lasts.
What are you going to do to him?
Oh, nothing he hasn't had coming to him for a long time. Now, Rufus, I'm truly sorry it had to come to this, but we all have needs. Irving and me, we need money. And you need to tell us where we can find yours. And more, I'm getting the feeling that I need to hack off your fingers one by one until you tell us where to find it.
Jerome.
So right now, you have two choices. You can keep stum, and I'll dice you up with this thing. Or you can tell us where to start looking, and I might dice you up a little bit less. I'm probably still going to have to do a little bit. You understand. It's about sending a message.
is the message, my parents never loved me?
Oh, I wanted to do this for so long.
Jerome.
Well then, what are you waiting for?
I don't know.
Jerome!
What?
You lied to me, Jerome.
So did you. He got into your head while I was gone, didn't he?
I know he hurt you. I don't condone it, but you can't do this. We can't do this.
Oh, Irving, I would literally take this meat cleaver to my own temples before I took advice from you.
So why did you bring me here then? Why bother getting another person involved at all?
I don't know. I guess I just thought it'd be more fun that way.
More fun?
Yeah. I don't know. Less lonely, maybe. It's nice having someone to keep you company.
How touching.
Keep talking, Rufus.
Jerome, we don't have to take this any further than we already have. I mean, we're already in the shit. Maybe at a certain point it's better to just stop struggling.
That's the difference between you and me, Irving. If I was drowning in a river of shit, I would never stop struggling. I would get myself out of the shit. Matter of fact, I wouldn't have let myself wind up in a river of shit in the first place. Because I'm smarter than that. And when I smell shit, I don't go running about trying to find it.
And how's that working out for you exactly? You can't do this. You can't.
Oh, look who's grown a pair all of a sudden. This is adorable. It really is.
I mean it. I won't let you hurt him.
Oh, Jesus, who are you? Because I thought you were my friend. But now you're just acting like a twat. Whose side are you on, Irving?
I'm on whatever side stops you from doing this to anyone ever again. I am your friend Jerome, but someone needs to put a stop to this.
You're right. Someone does.
Jerome. Jerome, stop! Jerome!
Is he?
I'm not sure.
Well, is he breathing?
I can't tell.
Well, go and check.
Ugh.
Come into my house, will you?
Wow, was that great or what? No, seriously, I haven't seen it. This is all pre-recorded. Let's head over to the judges to hear what they have to say.
I love how it started off right in the middle of the action. You know, the first line, "Is he dead?" I thought that was a brilliant place to start. Straight in, I was like, what's going on here? And then just debating who to check. I thought it was a really nice duo, comedic duo going on there. Really high stakes. And characters that are opposing in personality, that worked really nicely, because that clash just creates great drama. You know, it's your classic rubbish partners in crime situation, and even when Rufus awakens, even he thinks the plan's shit. So I really like that. It was really funny. And then the kind of, as the piece went on, it showed a bit more of a kind of serious side, and about revenge and the politics of revenge. How far should you go? And showing kind of both sides of people how poverty plays into crime, as well as understanding kind of richer people and how they feel they've worked for what they've got. And I think, again, it wasn't a kind of biased view. It really showed both sides. And it had really strong objectives. I thought all the characters knew what they wanted, and might not have shown it, but I think that was shown through manipulation to other characters, and it came across really nicely at the end of it. It kind of flipped, and Rufus then knocked them both out, so it came full circle, which I thought worked really well as an entire piece.
As Vicky was saying, I think the conflict between the characters was really, really clear, because I think they were coming from such juxtaposing backgrounds and viewpoints, and they weren't just, I really enjoyed that they weren't just representing someone breaking into someone's house and taking revenge. It was really these whole moral ideas going against each other of like gentrification. Themes of these kind of things are coming out, and morals and revenge, and all of these huge themes that are taking place and very politically relevant, both in London, both in the UK, as well as other places in the world. So I thought that was really, really clever, that the way that they used break-in and then use that to show the power dynamics between that. Also, it was really interesting with the ending, how Rufus kind of triumphs, and it makes you think, is that what it means? Is gentrification going to triumph and crush the smaller people? Is this a story that's symbolizing something? Is it a smaller story? I think it had so much so much within it that it really, it makes you think about that. So I thought that was really, really clever. I really enjoyed the metaphors. There was this whole bit about seeking shit out, and I thought just the language play was very clever. Let me have a look. And I think the time as well, I really enjoyed that it happened in real time. It really did create a sense of urgency. You were wondering, when is he coming back with the smoothie? Is there going to be a new plan during this time? I think it really kind of keeps you on the edge of your seat, and I think that was really enjoyable.
Next up, we have Portrait by Charlotte Button. As an artist, Ione's career is safe as other workforces become dominated by unfeeling machines. She's even purchased a robot of her own to assist in the studio. While Egar initially provides support to Ione's work, an offer to let them use her painting supplies uncovers a reality which threatens everything she knows. I reached out to Charlotte for a comment. Here's what she had to say. Gosh, I really hope I win. Thanks, Charlotte. Now, initiate video on demand playback.
I'm here, Ione. I can't wait to see what you've been up to this time.
Sorry, I didn't mean to frighten you.
I didn't expect to see one of you in here. Is Ione in?
She left 11.5 minutes before your arrival, but I expect she'll return within the next 100 seconds.
Oh, great. She won't mind if I wait around till she gets back.
Of course. Would you like anything? Perhaps tea or coffee?
No, I'll be all right waiting.
Yes.
Oh, Jill! Great to see you.
Same back at you, Ione.
What are you up to? I thought you were coming Friday.
I'm afraid to say it is Friday.
Already. I'm so sorry to have kept you waiting. Girl, why didn't you tell me Jill was coming today?
A reminder was not set for today.
Shows they're quite not foolproof, right, Jill?
To be honest, I was a little shocked to see you had one in the first place. Must be a fairly recent buy?
I've had her a few months now. Saw them all cleaning up the streets and shops, and I thought, why not have one to tidy up the studio?
I thought it looked like the ones they have in that shop on the corner.
Exactly the same model. I asked Dorothy where she got hers. It makes it all that bit easier getting new materials and cleaning up and things.
Fair enough. They haven't really been brought into the gallery yet. Just help out with transporting the works. Oh, speaking of...
Yes, of course. Gar, would you go make Jill a drink? What would you like?
I'd love a coffee. Milk, no sugar.
You hear that, Gar?
Yes, I will go make it now.
So, Jill, take a look. Let me know what you think.
It reminds me of what you did for the Venus exhibition. When was it? 15, 20 years ago?
Well, a bit different looking at this mug compared to some young model straight out of uni.
Not that bad, though. The way you capture human life is quite remarkable. I can feel your eyes on me all around the room.
I was thinking, what's unusual for us to consider these days? What would be refreshing for your clientele to see? There's still a lot to be discovered about the self. Sometimes I think we're getting further away from finding out what that is.
There is definitely space for this work in our upcoming exhibition. Just from the same face, portrait, and structure, you've managed to capture entirely different emotions. It's exceptional. Seeing this, I'd be ready for you to punch me in the face. Look at those eyes.
Yeah, I was quite frustrated making that one.
I'm definitely happy to show your work again, Ione. As always.
I'm glad to hear that, Jill. Thank you.
No, thank you. What's this? Something from your next project?
Oh, no, nothing like that.
It's a shame. It looks beautiful. You don't really get to see views like that anymore. Maybe you could create a collection based on all those things you take for granted when you're young. God knows it's been a while since I've seen that many trees. I'm not sure if Eleanor has ever seen that many trees. Maybe you should have taken her when she was little.
Planned anything yet. And even if I did, I couldn't include this one as it isn't one of mine.
Oh?
I let Gar have a go. Oh, I thought she might want to try it out, seeing as she has to clean up after this mucky pup all the time.
I'm not sure it would want much of anything. It's not its place to want.
Oh, I didn't think it would do any harm. It's just a one-off experiment to see what she could do. I had the materials going spare and it was just going to stay in the studio.
I wonder how much harm we thought they'd cause when we first let them lay a brick. Now, you walk past a new building and you know not a single human hand helped to make that.
I know, Jill, I know. I really don't think this is the same.
Actually, you're right. It's not. Because not one of them could do what you do, could do what any human artist could do. This could have been copied from any of those generic screensavers. Did you find this picture on Google?
No, I did not.
You sure? Didn't you just search natural beauty that my kind is content on ruining, and there it was?
Oh, come on, Jill.
I listen to the stories Ione tell me of the outside world. A place like this, I believed, would be appealing to people like you. Also, humankind has contributed in destroying vast amounts of wildlife, and
Gar, switch off.
How the hell can you work with something like that?
She doesn't mean to be malicious. I don't even think she can be.
It's not that. Well, not just that. I really can't believe you got one.
It makes my work easier, Jill. All I have to do is remember to charge her and...
Her?
Right. I know you don't like them, and that's fair enough. We're too old and tired to start a fight over this. The real reason you came here was to look at my work, and I believe you're satisfied with that?
Yeah. Yes, I am. They're going to love your work, Ione. I can't wait to show it. I'll head back to the office now and get all the paperwork sorted.
Great. Thanks, Jill. It was good to see you.
Good to see you too, Ione. I'll be back over in a day or so to finalize everything.
I'll make sure to be here to greet you next time.
You better be. Remember that it won't be able to do anything like you, Ione. Or if it could, you wouldn't be here anymore.
Oh, I know, Jill. Don't worry about me.
It's not just you I'm worried for. See you later.
Yeah, see you later. It always feels a bit different once it's up there. It's no longer sat on the easel just for you, but it's displayed for the whole world to see.
Ione,
Yes, Gar.
could we hang my painting on the wall?
I'm afraid not. No, that wouldn't be right.
I don't understand. Surely it wouldn't cause much harm. I would be willing to put it up myself to save you time and effort.
That's not the matter.
Then what is bothering you?
Nothing, Gar. Could you please leave it?
Yes, of course.
Gar, why did you want to hang your painting on the wall?
You said it feels different.
Yes, I did. Surely that wouldn't make a difference to you, though.
I don't follow.
Because you wouldn't know it feels different.
I don't follow.
Because you wouldn't know how it feels before the work is finished.
I don't follow.
And you wouldn't know how it feels when you're showing it to everyone you care about.
I don't follow.
Because you wouldn't know what it's like to feel.
Be honest with me. Does this make you feel something?
I don't want to answer your question.
Does this make you feel something? I can tell when you're lying.
Okay, it does make me feel.
What?
Really? Okay, it upsets and pleases me all at once. I've never been to this place, but it's the same as many others that my parents took me, where I played with friends. A place I haven't been to since I was young.
I've never been at all. But it pleases me. I have no need to go to a place like this. I'm not sure I even want to. But I think it makes me happy.
You're not supposed to think like that. You're not supposed to think, only process things and help us with what we tell you. You can't tell me you feel things. You can't.
Why would you assume I can't?
You never show it. You're always ready to help me and never offer anything original. Igor, your face barely moves. And you're not programmed that way.
I'm always happy to help you. That doesn't mean I can't feel. Just because humans didn't program me to cry doesn't mean I can't.
Oh, God.
Isn't this original?
I don't want to see it. No one wants to see it. No one cares about you or your kind or want to look at that. You have no one.
Any people want to see your work.
Yes, they do. And?
You have no wife or husband.
Excuse me?
You have no family to be proud of your art. You have no children to show the things you've done. No legacy to leave behind, to remember. And those things are all right. Because we paint for ourselves, not for anyone else. Just to try and convey what we feel inside.
You should feel lucky I haven't rebooted you and sent you back to the depot. You're clearly faulty.
I don't want to upset you.
It doesn't matter what you want. You don't understand what it's like for us. You will never understand what you've done to people out there.
I help you.
Yeah, it's scary when you see what happens to people in other jobs. Reports saying they no longer teach about farming because no humans do it anymore. And no one teaches about teaching because there's robots who can do it better. I think I teased Tom about it, told him to get with the times because we all know accountants were going to go. We know that you'll keep replacing us and our jobs until there's no one left because we're lazy and picky and are supposed to be treated with respect. We won't be needed anymore and we'll all be better for it. The worst thing is that I think we are, and I can't say I'm not happy with what's happened, but God, I never thought it would happen to me. You're supposed to take over the cleaners, the labourers, the idiots. Not me. Never. People like me. I need to think.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry.
Oh, you know what? It's not your fault.
I know.
But I don't think I can be here with you right now, knowing this. Good night.
Eager, switch off.
Keeping you running puts the energy bill up enough as it is. You could at least switch the lights off. Oh, thanks for cleaning up before you decided to switch off. I guess an easy solution if money's getting a bit tight. If Jill suddenly decides that what I do isn't good enough anymore. Just pull the plug on you and let your battery drain and die. You're not supposed to be able to switch yourself off. I make sure that you get the rest, the charge you need. You help me with my work, assist me in whatever I need, and I make sure that you're looked after. You found yet another way to make me meaningless, to better the human race and prove that I'm not needed anymore. Not even to push in a plug. I forgot to switch you off before I left, didn't I? You were low on power. You must have just finished your work before you had to force a shutdown. It's my fault the studio's a mess. Is this my fault too? I was the one who handed you the brush, encouraged you to follow your instincts, your programming, your whatever. I don't even know if you can hear me right now. It looks like you could be dreaming. Perhaps you're dreaming of wherever it is you painted. What you created. It's beautiful and expressive and all of that, but what's most remarkable about it is how human it appears. It's by someone who knows how it feels to have sunlight warm your skin, or really someone who dreams of it. I'm sorry if I caused this to happen. I'm sorry if this has been inside of you all of this time and I didn't realise. I'm sorry that I let Jill's fears become my own. Punishing you for something that I allowed to happen in the first place. But I'm sorry that I'm still terrified of you and what you could become. How you'll change me and the work that I love. Good night, Igor.
I'm so happy to accept another one of your collections, Ione. I don't think people will be expecting this, which is exactly why we need it.
I wasn't expecting this either, but I'm glad I listened to your advice, Jill. I think it will be good for people to reconnect with their memories and remind each other of the good times we had.
And last, I must check, Ione, even if not for the gallery, but for my sake. You didn't let it...
Oh, of course not. I mean, after all, she's only here to help me with the more meaningless things in the studio.
Of course. I better be off. We've got a delivery coming in this afternoon and we've got a new one of them signing off in it, so I'm going to check up. I'll be in contact, as always.
I look forward to it.
Bye, Ione.
Bye, Jill. Are you proud?
I am.
Good.
Thank you for everything.
Oh, it's all right. I guess it was bound to happen eventually. It just happened to be me.
I finally know what you mean.
What?
It does feel different when it's up there.
Oh, how's that for a sound check? We've been recording 7 hours. I'm not even getting paid. Portrait by Charlotte Button, everybody. Over to the judges.
Portrait. Yeah, I thought it was really, really great piece. Set in kind of futuristic setting where robots can do everything now, which is quite terrifying. They can paint pictures, which, like the character in the piece said, it really commented on how much soul and feeling that artists in general put into their work. To have someone come along that can just replicate that was a really terrifying thought, and it really, it was quite scary to read. Robots taking over jobs. and it kind of makes you think that there are advancements in technology that can do things better than people, and then people lose their purpose and feel insecure. And yeah, it's just a real comment on our future in society. I thought that it was beautifully written. The way when you read the script, it feels like the robot, is it Egar? Yeah. Feels like they're a real person. That's how human they are. And I loved the ending, especially where there's kind of acceptance and friendship. I thought that was really beautifully written.
Portrait, yeah, I really enjoyed the creativity of the piece. And I think there needs to be a shout out for the acting as well. I was like, acting as an android, I think the passing of the mugs and the smashing of the pictures, I was really taken in by the whole performance of it. I think as someone who's watched quite a lot of live theatre now, and you can just get distant to it and you can find a way to be more detached to it, but I really was drawn in by both the talent of the writing and the acting. Just the whole piece came together. I really enjoyed the language, especially when the android wasn't really able to understand certain things and kept repeating, I don't follow, I don't follow. I think it was great to see the frustration as well, that there was a kind of clash between those two sides, the feeling and thinking and not understanding how the android can't really process certain things but can on the other side. I think that was a really interesting power dynamic to see it played out in that way. I think it touched on some big themes about being made redundant in many aspects, in terms of what will our role be in the future? How are we going to function in a world where humans will not be doing most of these tasks, where we will be moving into more of an industrial world where the robots do everything? And it does feel very like a dystopia, but one that we can relate to in quite a lot of ways. So I thought it was really interesting artist perspective, because usually you see it in terms of more, I don't know, jobs like that are more, so for example, Amazon or a factory. So it was interesting seeing an artist where her whole world has safe and the robot is now taking her job, and seeing her lashing out. That was really, I think the way that she expressed the frustration was really good. Yeah, those are the kind of questions that I had about the piece and just general feedback. Yeah, I thought it was really enjoyable.
Next up is Countdown. No, not that one, you silly goose. Countdown is written by Danny McIntyre and directed by Danny and Hannah Young. As time ticks by, secrets reveal themselves and motives are questioned. Countdown follows A man trapped in a black hole of his own self-pity and regret. After finding a suspicious letter, A has some questions. Can you really trust the ones you love? I reached out to Danny for a comment. Here's what she had to say. Gosh, I really hope I win. Thanks, Danny. Now, sit back and enjoy Countdown.
Beer?
Sure.
City lost 5-0.
I know. Sucks for you.
Well, I didn't bet, so
You still doing that?
I just said I didn't.
But you have been. What are you thinking? Does Anne know?
She doesn't need to.
Am I missing something?
No.
Well, clearly I am.
Just leave it.
Okay, fine. How's the job hunting going?
It's going.
It's been a while now.
Yeah, 2 months.
You still got your savings? What? I want to make sure you're alright.
And I told you, I'm fine.
You're clearly not. And I can
I
help.
don't need your help.
Mum called me?
Of course she did. Is that why you're here?
No,
Don't fucking lie.
I'm not.
You are, and I'm going to tell you the same thing I told her. I'm not taking the money. I don't need it.
You wouldn't be taking it. Well, I feel like
It's pity money, and I don't want it.
I'm just trying to help.
When are you going to get off your high horse and realise you can't just throw money at problems?
Bro, calm down.
No, you need to stay out of my shit. So stop throwing your fucking money at me and just sit here and have a fucking beer, okay?
Okay. But you know, not on a high horse. I don't like horses or heights.
Fucking hell.
Just trying to lighten the mood.
Or maybe do it without your shit joke.
Jesus, who's shat in your cornflakes this morning? When did you become such a stubborn twat?
About the same time you became an entitled prick.
Why? Because I have a life, a job, a family.
I have a family too.
Yeah, a wife you can't provide for, and a family you don't talk to.
Right, shut the fuck up.
No, you shut the fuck up and listen. You have a child on the way that you can't even get off your lazy fucking ass. You're more concerned with drinking your fucking beer, watching fucking porn where you wank all full fucking day to women who wouldn't come near you with a barge pole. You need to wake the fuck up!
It's too late.
What?
She's leaving me.
How do you...
I found a letter.
A letter?
I know. Who even writes fucking letters anymore?
Well, what did it say?
I don't know. Some shit about how she should leave me and he could take care of her.
You don't seem...
Bothered? Nah.
You're not...
I'm not surprised. Surprised it wasn't sooner. It's been a while since I made her laugh. Stupid fucking laugh.
Fuck.
Yeah. Fuck. It's been going on a long time. Ever since I got out, things just... I don't know. Things just haven't been the same. And you know what? Don't blame her. Fucked her life up.
You didn't fuck her life up.
But I did.
People change.
It doesn't change how much I still need it. I want it more than I want her. You don't get it. How could you? You're fucking perfect.
I'm sorry.
For being perfect?
No. About Anne.
Like I said, I wasn't surprised.
But I'm sure that doesn't stop...
The pain? No, it doesn't.
Where is she?
I don't know. Out?
Out where?
I don't know. Why do you care?
I don't.
She's coming over later to get her stuff.
But she loves you.
No, she doesn't. She tolerates me.
She said that.
She didn't have to.
Fuck.
Yeah. Fuck.
Bro, I'm so...
Don't.
What?
I don't need your pity.
It's not.
It is.
It's not. It's like when someone dies. You just have no idea what to say.
Well then don't.
What, you want me to sit here in silence?
Why are you even here?
What?
Why are you here?
To see you.
Bullshit.
It's not bullshit.
It is. What do you want?
I just wanted to see you. To talk to you.
Ah, there we go. Ding ding ding.
You're gonna be a dick then.
Oh, come on, just sit down.
It's about... You know what? Doesn't matter.
Oh, come on, just spit it out.
It's about...
Hi.
Hi. Sorry, I just wanted to say I'm so sorry to hear about Anne.
What?
Anne? The accident. It's just...
Uh-huh.
If you need anything,
Sorry, do I know you?
I used to work for Anne. Her assistant. I met you at the Christmas party.
Shouldn't do that.
What?
Shut people down like that.
It was her fucking assistant. Why should I give a shit?
So, you did know the lass?
No.
Then how did you know it was her assistant?
She fucking said, didn't she?
Look, all I'm saying is there's still some good people around.
What?
I'm just saying there are still some decent people.
Not her though. She's a right lickspittle.
What?
You know, lickspittle. A suck up. She'd lick someone else's spit.
Right.
Plus there isn't. Good people. She was the last. Oh, fuck off, ref! You're a knobend! What a fucking wanker!
Oi, keep it down. Customers are...
Fuck 'em!
Oi, I think you've had enough.
Who do you think you are?
Hey, come on.
Nah, you've changed. Everyone's fucking changed.
I'm sure they haven't.
I can't even get a fucking sandwich at the co-op anymore without people giving me that look of, oh, poor old man. I just want a fucking cheese and onion sandwich. Piss off!
Look, sit down! You want a sandwich?
I want Anne.
I know. I know.
What a fucking waste of time that was.
Do you want countdown on?
Yeah, cheers. Kerfuffle, it's 9. Kerfuffle!
John, what have you got? I've got 4s. Pushing? 4? 4, you said that very... A nice one, though.
There's a fucking 9. People are idiots.
You should go
on. Nah, he fucks me off.
Who?
That Jimmy guy, his laugh. Sounds like a seal being molested.
I'm sure he puts it on. It's like when people sneeze really loudly, you have to put effort into making it sound like that.
Laughs can tell you who people really are.
And who's Jimmy Carr?
Shit comedian who only pays 1% tax on his earnings.
I mean, true.
She was the only one.
That's
what her laugh told me. She was the only one who could ever love me.
Oh. Hi.
And 100. Oh, sorry, you just caught me exercising. That's how I keep this arm bigger than this one. Anyway, over to the judges.
I'll start with all the stuff that I really enjoy about Countdown. I really like the dialogue between the characters. I thought it was quite funny, quite relatable relationship between two guys who like hanging out and drinking, and friends who care about each other, but they still have that banter. And I think the power dynamics as well were quite visible between them both. Like, I can't remember the name, but the friend who was trying to help out and had more money, and he was like, come on, like, get your life together. You could tell there was a real sense of care in there, and there was a real sense of authentic friendship. Well, at least that's what I felt at the beginning. I thought it was a really interesting use of using Countdown as well as in the TV show, in the play, and getting really frustrated that they weren't able to see the 9 letters, even though they were all picking out 4s. And I think the humour about Jimmy Carr, and it's very relatable what people say about his laughter. And I thought the humour between the two friends was really clear. I think they both had really clear wants as well. In terms of the characters, you could see that he really wanted his mate to really improve his life and get it together and make a change. and you could see the frustration as well. So yeah, those are the things that I really enjoyed about it. Yeah,
I thought it was a really well structured piece. You know, we're thinking at the beginning, why is he there? What does he want? And then it became really clear. You know, we found out that Anne's left him. And I think that anticipation of wanting to know and being on the edge of my seat, being like, why is he there? Was something that really gripped me. I love the language. I thought, you know, the style that the writer wrote it with, how they finished each other's sentences, was a really unique style. Yeah, and just playing around with form and stuff like that. It was all really exciting, kind of the way it was written. As Danny said, I thought I loved the countdown bit, the comedic, relatable, shouting at the TV, you know, we've all been there. And the fact that it was kind of placed, you know, in the midst of a man who's just lost the love of his life, that comedy in that tragedy juxtaposed really nicely. Yeah, that was really, really good.
Are you a modern woman who wants guidance for hosting company? Well, you're in luck. The next play is Delaney Jordan's The Modern Woman's Guide to Hosting Company. Have you found yourself the host of a last-minute surprise party? Are you afraid of disappointing your doting husband? Follow Sally's lead as she walks you through the trials and tribulations of a friendly dinner. I reached out to Delaney for a comment. Here's what she had to say. Gosh, I really hope I win. Thanks, Delaney. Notepads at the ready. Here's The Modern Woman's Guide to Hosting Company.
Honey, I'm home.
Congratulations, your husband is home on time.
Sorry I'm a bit behind.
He's not.
I got caught up talking to Eddie. He and Bess are going to join us for dinner and a few drinks tonight. It'll be nice, won't it?
Of course, dear. Dinner with Eddie and Bess. This has truly made your day. You and your husband are fairly new in town, so this will be your first time hosting dinner for some of your neighbours. What a wonderful surprise to have company tonight. Your husband is very sweet, and it's important to be supportive of his personal endeavours. Don't forget, you know what he's done for you.
Have we still got that old bottle of Wilson Harry gave us for Christmas?
Yes, dear. He gave your husband the bottle for Christmas.
Well, that's great. You can put that on ice, can't you?
Of course, dear. You go wash up before they arrive. It's so fortunate that you decided to make a nice big pot roast tonight. Otherwise, you might not have enough food to share with Eddie and Bess, and that would embarrass your husband, which is bad. You wouldn't want to embarrass your husband again. With all this free time on your hands, you ought to make sure your dessert is coming along well too. You've prepared a lovely lime gelatin salad, a popular dish and your husband's new favourite. Just look at that beautiful bright green colour and that impressive sheen. So easy for the modern woman to make, and the way it jiggles is really so fun. Now that you've made sure all the food is prepared, why don't you make sure that the living room is clean? Just kidding, the living room is always clean. But pretend to dust down the pillows on the couch in the interest of appearing observant, diligent, and responsible.
Thanks, honey. I hope you don't mind if I sneak a little of this before they arrive. I've had an awful long day at work.
Sometimes your husband's work days are so long he doesn't get home till you're lying in bed pretending to sleep. Don't worry though, you know exactly where he is and he's always sure to be back before 3.
By the way, there's an engagement at the club tomorrow night, so I won't be home until late. Don't worry about feeding me or anything. Just fix yourself something nice.
Sounds like tomorrow might be awfully lonely, but never fear. You can have a lovely evening even while your husband's at the gentleman's club. You might even try to watch the television again for as long as you possibly can before your brain begins to hurt.
Is this lime jello? Honey, it looks great.
Thanks, dear. Yes, you and your husband are very happy. Marriage is all about putting in time and effort to create the perfect home, and you've done an excellent job thus far. A good wife is agreeable, dependable, loyal, and always 2 steps ahead, prepared to solve any problem. If you don't keep this machine well oiled, what in the world is it all for? How exciting! Company has arrived.
Could you get there for me, honey?
Of course you can.
Sally, great to see you. You're looking lovely tonight.
Eddie is very personable and can always be counted on to give you a big hug when he and Bess visit. He hugs from his shoulders, which can be slightly hazardous. Once you have finished the hug, make sure you turn away and check that your face is properly readjusted before greeting the rest of your guests.
Hey, George, you're not breaking into that scotch without me, are you?
Only because I've been waiting on you so long. Come here.
Eddie and Bess are close friends with you and your husband. Your husband's known Eddie for months now, but you were only introduced to him and Bess this past July. Remember, friends can be found in all sorts of places. You'll never know what will bring you together. Make sure to say hello to Bess, but do not start up a conversation separate from Eddie and your husband. This will make them self-conscious if their conversation ends before yours. Instead, stare at Bess patiently until you are allowed to follow your husbands into the kitchen.
That pot roast. Holy moly, Sally, that smells delicious.
It's his favourite.
Boy, I can see why.
It's absolutely gorgeous, Sally.
How exciting! Bess thinks your cooking is quite exceptional. You must perform similarly the next time you expect company.
Well, let's not waste any time, huh? We ought to dig in before it gets cold.
You may have been told that, when in the presence of friendly company, it is always important to maintain good posture at the dinner table. This is indeed critical, but don't focus on that too much. Overthinking can put an unattractive strain on your face, and besides, your back wasn't designed to slouch.
Cheers, Sally. This is just what a fella needs after a 9-to-5 shift.
That's our Sally. She's a real doll. Cheers.
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 Be sure to only pretend to sip, and let your husband take the glass if he asks whether you're finished with it. The night's still young after all. Bear in mind, your husband will be very hungry after a long day at work. Make sure you allow him to take his portion first, and then eat your own smaller portion as slowly as possible in a very small bite so he does not feel bad about going in for seconds. Even if you no longer need to eat, it's important to do so for the sake of being polite.
Oh, geez, don't be shy, Eddie.
What can I say? I'm a growing boy.
You're so funny, darling.
Such a riot, Eddie.
Yeah, well, maybe if you'd cut the jokes every now and then, I wouldn't have to pick up all the slack at work, would I, Ed?
Hey, don't forget who got you that job, Georgie.
Your husband may have been invited to join the local gentlemen's club to mingle with other men in your neighbourhood. These sorts of organisations can be valuable tools to further your husband's social interests, especially as the breadwinner of the house. After all, you can't very well go out and work yourself when there's so much to do back home, can you?
Listen, I don't blame your husband for being a little lazy. I used to be a real couch potato.
A little lazy. If you gave me the option, I'd never leave the house.
Well, some of us have got a rec room we'd like to renovate soon.
I'll introduce you to a guy. Fixed up our kitchen for us as a nice surprise for Bess. Sure was nice to come home to that after surgery, wasn't it, hon?
It's such a lovely kitchen, darling.
Well, money's been so good lately. I was hoping to get a pool table set up. Invite the other boys over.
And we know we'd love to have you.
Don't get too hoity-toity on us, Georgie, and make the old-timers at the club jealous.
Oh, so far, so good. You're performing admirably, and everyone is in good spirits as you finish dinner and retreat to the living room to share a few more drinks. Now, drinking is all good fun, but sometimes too much alcohol can lead to precarious situations. You've got to be sure to remain attentive while continuing to be courteous to your guests.
Well, we're all very happy to have Robert and Marcia, of course, but they've got to start fitting in.
Lay off them, Ed. They'll come around to it. Besides, even I think the neighbourhood's pretty white. But that's not the kind of thing I have to worry about. Yeah, they decided to move here, but they can't say for sure we're not a bunch of pointy-cloaked psychos.
And why can't they, huh? Moving here without an invitation, making assumptions about a bunch of perfectly nice people. It's hypocritical, is what it is. I could assume plenty about whether or not Robert's actually a doctor or what she gets up to in her spare time, but we'll never really know where they got the money for a house like that.
Now, Eddie.
Don't now Eddie me. It's a matter of principle. You don't like the people round here? Don't live round here. Wouldn't catch me in one of their neighbourhoods anyway.
Uh-oh, what a predicament. Your husband's group of friends may start to include people with very different opinions. This means that friendly discussion may take a wrong turn and become a political debate, which is just no good. However, it is important that you A, keep a cool head, as it is impolite to seem disinterested in the opinions of racists, for whatever reason. B, do not jump to cite any specific facts, as this will make your husband appear to be less educated on the subject than you are. And C, visibly support whichever position he expresses, which will likely diffuse the situation. If your company insists on pressing the issue, change the subject to the jello you prepared for dessert.
Jello sounds like a great idea, honey.
Yeah, sounds just fine.
How very thoughtful, Sally.
Wasn't that easy? With just a few simple steps, you've managed to avert major social faux pas and lightened everyone's mood. Besides, you wouldn't want things to be tense between Eddie and your husband at the gentlemen's club, especially after he's just started fitting in. After all, you know what he's done for you. You may find things are winding down as the night go on. There are a few things you can do to keep spirits high, even with full bellies and a healthy dose of alcohol. Play a record from your husband's collection, or turn the lights down to a level that is dim and classy, as well as impossible to stay awake at.
We're going to run down to the rec room real fast for a cigar.
You ladies have fun up here. We'll make sure not to set your cellar on fire.
Smoking is an extremely unattractive look for a lady, so be sure to thank your husband for keeping those tobacco fumes down in his rec room, where he won't be tempted to. Being on your own with another neighbourhood housewife for the first time may lead to some strange and unusual ideas, but these are completely normal and should be ignored. Perhaps you notice that, as you look at Bess, you feel as though you are looking into a mirror. But if you're not sure why, don't wonder. It simply means that you and Bess are each being the best wives you can be. How lovely for you both. If you start to remember things that don't add up, don't forget that it's only your imagination. Consider taking your mind off things by asking, why, how was Bess's surgery maybe? After all, she had it before you arrived in town. Before you arrived, well, it wasn't so long ago that you moved in. What was so perfect about this house? You can hardly recall. It was back in those frivolous days where you were up to your ears in books and social sciences, and your husband stayed at home pretending to be a painter. Now, of course, you're far happier with a respectable life as a housewife. You'd rather forget the past. You'd rather forget the past. If you start to remember things that don't add up, don't forget that it's only your imagination. Consider taking your mind off things by asking about Bess's surgery. Why, you had one as well not so long ago, didn't you? Your husband worked so very hard to get it for you. Whatever it was for eludes you. But once it was finished, you felt brand new. This is something that you and Bess may both be able to relate to. Why not ask her about it? Lovely weather, isn't it?
Perfect for a day out.
At last, the night's come to a close and it's time to say goodbye.
Okay, hon, we gotta head home.
Bess, you okay there?
Bess? Oh, damn.
Damn.
She doesn't usually.
No, I know.
We're gonna have to.
Yeah, you want to take the
I'll take the top end. You grab the ankles for me?
No, honey. You wait right there. We got it. Bess is fine, okay? I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries. She's just had a little too much to drink, that's all. Thanks for having us, though, Sally. We've had a wonderful evening.
Uh-oh. Seems that 2 pretend sips of alcohol was too much for poor Bess to take. Be sure to know your limit, as women of your particular countenance will often have a low tolerance for such things. But for now, allow yourself a moment of pride for doing an excellent job tonight. You made a delicious meal, kept everyone happy, and maintained an upbeat and positive energy throughout the entire evening. Well, it's time to clean up.
Eddie's going to get her home. Put her to bed. Don't worry. She should be fine come morning. You're feeling all right, aren't you?
Yes, dear.
Good. I bet you could have really shut Eddie up back when he was talking about Robert and Marcia. Him and the guys, they're nice and all, but sometimes, well, they don't know all the facts. Of course, they're not really. It's that they just don't know any better. I'm just saying, you could have put it better than I did. I wish you had, honestly. Well?
It's very important to be thorough when cleaning after hosting company. Empty glasses could start to stink, and never forget to put all leftover food in your refrigerator so as not to attract ants.
Sally?
Your husband may offer to help, but tell him not to worry. He may bring in the bread, but the woman of the house will always have everything under control.
Sally, that's real nice of you, but can we just take a moment to talk?
Even if it's late, don't worry about fatigue. In fact, you won't have to worry about fatigue any time of day.
Sally?
Thanks to the wonders of modern medicine, modern science, modern robotics.
Sally,
It's
you can
a
take
good
a
thing
break.
you have your husband here to explain these sorts of things to you. What's most important is that you continue to work
Can
your
we
very
just-
hardest so you can repay your husband for everything he's done. You needn't think of anything else, really. Not when life is
Sally?
so simple and grand the way it is. The important thing is to keep a level head
I'm serious,
and remember
Sally.
that this was certainly a mutual decision and that the both of you are very happy with the way things
Sally,
are.
for fuck's sake, Sally, who are you talking to? Sally, please, I need you to talk to me. I want you back. I want my wife back.
If your husband ever fusses over how much work you do all day, if he starts to worry that your new arrangement is too much strain, you may be tempted to break from routine. This is a terrible mistake, especially so early on. Simply remind him why you have the happy home you do now. I know what you did to me. At last, you've come to the end of your evening. But that doesn't mean you have to be done for the day. Perhaps you'll clean the kitchen just one more time, or vacuum the whole house overnight. Yes, everything is truly perfect in your little corner of the world. But remember, the key to being a modern housewife is never thinking too hard about the past, and always looking forward to creating happy memories you'll share and cherish for the rest of his life.
Well, I'm all set. Now, over to the judges to hear their thoughts.
I really enjoyed the setup. It took me quite a while to work out. I was like, how is it working here? Is this can the audience hear her? Can the other characters hear her? And I think that really was engaging. It did start off feeling like a kind of a guide to perfect housekeeping, like a kind of 50s magazine, which I thought was really interesting to play with the audience. I'm wondering who the audience were in relation to that. Are we complicit? Are we one of the house guests? Or are we listening in on this? Are we part of her subconscious, perhaps? I really enjoyed the use of silences and the smiles as well. I think that was really, it was really intelligent the way it kind of created a break between the continuous thoughts. And it allowed those little seeds of doubt that start creeping in from the beginning to fully blossom at the end of it. I really enjoyed it was very small references to things like robotics and advancements in technology, which make you start to question, is Sally a housewife in the 1950s? Is this the modern day? Is this like a Black Mirror kind of dystopian universe? Which was really good at playing with the audience's perception. And I think it was really the references to her previous life before she was the perfect housewife, the social sciences, and having a career in academia. I think it really painted a picture without going too much into her background. I thought that was done really well. And then the line, "I know what you did to me," that was a great line. That was a kicker. I was like, oh snap, like, oh, because I was wondering, I was like, is this a robot? Is she a robot? Like, what's going on here? And then when you realize the reference between the surgery and, yeah, that was a kicker line. I enjoyed that. And then it is talking about these huge themes of the role of women, future, how do robotics play into this? How can people use this malevolently? Yeah, I thought it played on some really great themes that we are thinking about, and also power as well in relationships. Yeah, I thought it was really, really well done.
I thought it was really, really great. Listening as a woman myself, I think you've got to position yourself when you read these things, because obviously straight away I read it and I think, oh, you know, it's how to be a lady, it's sarcastic, it's all tongue-in-cheek, you know, she hates her life. But then you think, you know, where I was intrigued actually to find out where it was set. If it is modern day, is it that she's so stuck in this way and that's reflective of kind of the misogyny that's so ingrained within us and is stuck with a lot of people? It kind of made me question those things, which I thought was powerful. Yeah, obviously we kind of realised that she is putting on a facade, and I really liked how the playwright did that by breaking the fourth wall and having her speak out to the audience, and then seeing how she's, you know, performing to her stereotype. And then, as Danny said, you know, I was kind of like, so where's the drama? What's this about? What's happening? And then boom, what did George do to her in the past? You know, what's happened? And then it suddenly like flips and becomes really exciting. And that's kind of when the drama for me really kicked in. And then, you know, towards the end, George says, who are you talking to? And it kind of breaks that fourth wall and everything becomes really chaotic. And I really love to have seen kind of more of that earlier on, or show more of that build up, because that was really exciting for me. So yeah, I thought it commented on a lot of themes that are really, really important. It was a really great piece.
Thanks, judges. Tonight we've seen 4 amazing pieces of theatre. My House by Henry Burr, Countdown by Danny McIntyre, The Modern Woman's Guide to Hosting Company by Delaney Jordan, and Portrait by Charlotte Button. But there can only be one winner. It's time to hand over to the judges for the big reveal.
So first we want to do a massive shout out to all of the actors, writers, directors, absolutely everyone who was involved in the whole rewrite process. The plays were of such a high quality and it really, really was captivating stuff. So it made our decision even harder, but we have deliberated, we have argued, and we have picked our winner.
Are you ready? Drum roll, please. Danny, get your drums out. the best we can do in lockdown. And the winner is... Yay! My House.
My House.
Congratulations to everyone involved in the writing, directing, producing, everyone behind the scenes. We thought it was a fantastic play. We found it hilarious and really well written.
So there you have it. A massive congratulations to Henry Burt and the cast of My House, and well done to all of the other playwrights, actors and directors involved. I'd also like to say a huge thank you to this year's judges, Vicky and Danny, and of course our brilliant producer Ryan Clune, without whom this wouldn't have been possible. And me, your host, Benjamin Jennings, available for Zoom parties, Zoom bar mitzvahs, and I'm an ordained minister for Zoom weddings. Very affordable too. Thank you and good night.